I got a question for you guys. Is Dame Dollar really clutch?
Well, first, let me say this. I don't watch basketball as much as I should. And basketball is my number one sport. I played basketball all my life. The game has changed so much that I don't know that I like it as much as I used to. But with that being said, I think Dame Dollar is absolutely clutch. The man has 33 go-ahead buckets in the final minutes of a game since he's been in the league. I think he I think he don't get brought up as much because he's in Portland. You got LeBron in the West now. You have had Golden State in the West dominating. So I think Dame gets overlooked sometimes, but I think the man game is I love his game. What I've seen of him, what I know of him, I love his game. I was an Isaiah Thomas guy all my life, and I like Dame's game. I think he deserves more respect than I think he gets. I think he gets overshadowed a lot by guys like Steph Curry. Rightly so. Steph is the man. I'm not saying that Dame is better than Steph, but I'm saying, being on if Dame was on the East Coast, I think Dame would be getting more pub than what he gets. I mean, Dame has sat in the West with so many stars for so many years. I think people have not been able to appreciate his game, but I think the man is absolutely clutch. He ain't afraid of the big shot, and he'll take it. He ain't afraid of it at all. He don't run from it, and if he don't make it, he'll own it, but he'll take it. Some of them guys won't take that shot, but Dame will take it, and so I think he clutch, period.
I agree. Dame is definitely clutch. He's just in the wrong spot. He's never going to get anywhere, never going to get, the wreck that he's looking for in Portland. You can count on him. He just ain't been able to count on the other people, on the other five that's on the floor with him. Dame clutch. Dame a monster. Dame on another team, he's a monster in Portland. He's been carrying Portland since he's been there. So you put him somewhere else, yeah, Dame clutch. And people that, if somebody says that he ain't, I got to question your IQ.
Well, hot button. Isaac Lane's IQ is getting ready to be questioned. First of all, let me say this because I know I'm going to ruffle feathers. I know you basketball pundits. I know you guys are going to try to eat me alive, but just hear me out, please. Hear me out. Just hear me out. Damian Lillard is without question an absolute dog. Damian Lillard, if I'm going into a finals championship game, I at least want him on the squad without question. He is a dog. He can play. He checks all of the boxes except one box. And he's not the only one that doesn't check this one box. Now, there are two words that people throw around, especially in sports, but we all can agree, just in general, we deal with people. And just in general, in the world of professionalism, there are a few words that people throw out without really taking time to think about. They use them very lightly. And those two terms are great and clutch. I believe that those two terms are reserved for the elite of the elite. Now, if we're going to talk about being clutch, to me, we first have to give a definition for what it means to be clutch.
That was going to be my statement.
Now,
one of my statements.
Here is my hot button definition of what it means to be clutch. And the first two you've heard. The third part of this definition, there's a little twist. Y'all ready? Here's what it means to be clutch. Big time players making big time plays on the biggest stage. There are several players in the NBA who check box 1 and who check box 2. Is Damian Lillard a big-time player? Without question. Does Damian Lillard make big-time plays? You just gave the stat. Without question. But, and this is not just an indictment on Damian Lillard, because James Harden is in this discussion too. Chris Paul too. We've never, ever seen Damian Lillard or James Harden or Chris Paul play on the sport's biggest stage. We've never seen it. Are they great players? Can they get the job done in the regular season? Yes. But you play, in the words of Herman Edwards, you play to win the game. And I'm sorry. Give me 45 more seconds. I'm sorry. I cannot attach the term clutch to you. If you can't even, you clutch, but you can't even get your team in the final dance. Allen Iverson didn't have nothing to work with, but he got his team to the dance and won a game against the Dynasty Lakers, prime Shaq and Kobe. You can't even get your team on the biggest stage. So now we just gonna call anybody who can shoot a game winner on game 36 of the regular season clutch. But you can't, but you get gently swept last year, and you was an absolute no-show in games 4 and 5. And don't tell me your finger was hurt. If you were so hurt, get off the doggone court.
Bro, you killed your own argument.
It wasn't just that year. It's been year after year. James Harden, Damian Lillard, Chris Paul, all the guys we love to call clutch. I love them, but I've never seen you do it on the biggest stage. Say what you want about Kevin Durant. We've seen him rise to the occasion on the biggest stage. Say what you want about LeBron. He's lived in the finals and won 4 of them, by the way. Say what you want about Steph Curry. They have got it done on the biggest stage. You can't call somebody clutch because the pressure of a game 7 in round 2 is a world of difference between the elimination game in the NBA finals. You can't be clutch and you ain't come to the finals.
Bro, hold on. You ain't just clutch don't mean the finals. That ain't you hold on. You are relegating clutch to just be a finals thing. And that's not it. That's not it. You kill your own argument because you give him credit. He a dog. He a great player. But he ain't been in the finals. Yeah, you're right. He has not been in the finals. But then you put it down. We ain't seeing you here. We ain't seeing you there. No. But you this. Oh, come on. You killing your own argument.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that he has. From a skill perspective, the skill is there. But clutch goes a step further than skill.
Clutch means to be able to be counted on in the end.
Yeah. And his team cannot count on him, nor has the Rockets ever been able to count on him, count on James Harden to get them over the hump.
His team has been able to count on him. He ain't been able to count on his team.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, man.
He ain't been able to count on his team.
You don't use that argument for LeBron James. Why is that argument never used for LeBron James? It's never, and I'm not saying you don't use it.
Hold on.
I'm not saying you don't use it.
Me and you we on the same page with that. But the reason why the argument ain't used for LeBron James, because most of these poop butt Negroes don't want to give LeBron James no kind of credit.
Okay.
So that's why they will never use that same argument for LeBron. Because people this year are talking about he got a loaded, his team is super loaded. He got the most, they may be loaded on paper, but when you get them on the court, now that AD gone, you expecting a 38-year-old man to play like he played when he was 22. That's not gonna happen. They not gonna give LeBron that credit. But Damian Lillard has never been able to count on his team.
And we talking about, if we were talking individual sport, then I would buy that argument. But when you're talking about a team sport, I have to be able to, like, to my brother's point, I have to be able to depend on my team. When, listen, everybody has off game, but listen, that man is clutch. And here's the thing though, let's think about it this way. Look at where he's trying to come out of. He's in the West, right? He's in the West. Has he had a team that's been well enough to win the West? You brought up Iverson, right? Tell me who was in the East when the Sixers went to the finals. The East has been underachieving for years. They have had half of the conference under 500. Their teams in the East going to the playoffs 7, 8, 10 games under 500. It's easy to get out of the East. This man is in the West, and he's been fighting with teams in the West. Has been team dominant for years. If I took Dame Lillard right now, let's say we took him a couple years ago and put him in the East, right? Let's say if we put him on the Sixers in the East, they would have.
Oh, that's his team. I was thinking.
They would have went to
the
the
team. I
finals.
was thinking.
But he's not. Here's my point. I ain't moving off of my point. He's not in the East.
You ain't got to move.
He's in the West. He's in the West.
So
he needs to clutch is contextual.
All right, let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this.
In the West.
Let me ask you this. Who is Dame? Who's Dame's Robin on the Blazers?
Who's Dame's Robin on the Blazers?
Yes.
It gotta be CJ.
So CJ
ain't a bad Robin. He averaged.
No. Watch this now. Watch this. So Dame and CJ match up with LeBron and AD.
Two totally different. Nobody.
I'm just saying.
Nobody matches up with them.
And take every team.
Okay. Nobody matches up with them.
Caleb, I got a better one for you. Does Dame and CJ match up with Steph and Clay?
Now?
Clay hurt now. Come on.
But in their prime, nobody would. No.
So in other words, you have no chance.
So stop calling y'all are missing what I'm saying. Stop calling everybody and their mama clutch.
See, for me,
work for
it. Clutch
is work for it.
Here is what clutch is for me.
Clutch.
Clutch is this. When a big shot needs to be made, will he take it? And will he make it most times out of 9?
So you mean to tell me a big shot in game 1 of the regular season, you gonna put that on the same stage as a big shot in the Western Conference Finals in the elimination?
Let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this question.
Every big shot is not created equal.
Let me ask
every big shot just can't be called clutch. If that's the case, LeBron James is more clutch than Michael Jordan because LeBron James got more playoff buzzer beaters and game-winning possessions than anybody in NBA history. But we don't never call LeBron clutch.
I will. I do. That's a whole nother conversation. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to clutch for me, it's a guy that's not afraid to take that shot. Dame will take that shot. And he'll take it from half court like it's nothing. So then based on your definition, right? So is Big Shot Rob and he clutch?
Of course he is. The man got 7 rings. And if my memory serves me correct, in about 4 of those rings that he has, he was a key contributor when it mattered the most. What kind of question is that? Is Big Shot Bob?
Not following.
Hold on.
It's Steve Kerr clutch.
He made a big time shot in that. I forgot what year it was for the Chicago Bulls in the finals.
Exactly. So now
on the biggest stage.
Is Steve
on the
Kerr,
biggest stage.
Is he more clutch than Dame? Because it was only one shot.
You got a good point there.
Big Shot Rob. 7 rings.
Mm-hmm.
He hit the last 3-pointer to win the game 7 in about 3 of those rings.
Mm-hmm.
In 2 of those rings, in the game where he hit the last shot, he didn't have but 7 points, and you call that clutch?
If that's not clutch, then what else is? See, I think we have, and that's fine, that's cool. We have two totally different definitions of what it means to be clutch. What it means, in my opinion, what it means to be clutch is making big plays on the biggest stage of the game. You can have great skill, you can be a great player, but that doesn't mean that you are clutch. Clutch is a totally different conversation.
Let me get this straight.
You got some people who get the ball on the biggest stage and they go Riche Caldwell. Remember in the Super Bowl for the Patriots, my eyes got big and he dropped that ball. You got some guys who are great, but they freeze up in those moments. And then you have some guys like a Charles Barkley who are just unable to either get there or unable to actually come away with a ring when they needed to come away with the ring. And what I'm saying is, if you can't do it on the biggest stage, what we playing for?
Let me ask you this question.
So is Kerr more clutch than Dame?
Let me ask you this question.
Is Steve Kerr more clutch than Dame?
In that moment, yeah, he is. Because I don't have a championship moment for Dame Lillard.
Let me ask you this question. The team is out there on that in the NBA Finals. Game 5 to close it out. Or games, whichever game. You won't get say game 7 to close it out. Or game 5. Let's go game 5. Team down. And the star of the team, they get the ball into the star. Other team put that trap defense on him where he is unable to get the shot off. But he gets a pass to a wide open man who they really didn't lax on defense because he ain't done nothing all game.
Iguodala.
And he hits the shot at the end of the game. But he only has 6 points for the game. And he ain't made, but he done shot. He's 2 for 13. But one of the 2 that he hit is at the end of the game to win. You call that clutch?
Yep, because it's on the biggest stage, buddy.
Okay.
It's on the biggest stage. It's on the biggest stage.
Next topic.
I ain't seen. No. Wait. Here's what I'm saying. I want you to understand it. I want people watching to understand.
No, we understand.
I'm not saying Dame Lillard is not a dog. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, when it comes to me, you gotta earn clutch. And I can't call you clutch. I ain't never even seen you play in a championship game. I don't know how you gonna respond in the championship game. Everybody thought LeBron James was that absolute monstrosity of a clutch player pre-2011 Mavs. But when the 2011 Mavs came around, oh my goodness, he went missing. And it will forever be the blemish on his record. He learned from it, and he became a clutch player when it needed to be. But I believe the only reason why he is now clutch is because he actually had to go through that process. What I'm saying is, guys like James Harden, Chris Paul, Damian Lillard, we have never seen them on a championship stage. We've never even seen you play.
I wouldn't say James Harden is clutch. I wouldn't say James Harden is clutch. I wouldn't say Chris Paul is clutch. But you asked about Damian Lillard. I would say Damian Lillard all day long.
Okay. Let me ask this one last name and we can move on. Reggie Miller clutch.
Woo. He didn't make the shots when he needed to.
Man, Reggie Miller is clutch as they come. In my opinion.
8 points in.
Listen,
Reggie Miller scored 9 points in 3 seconds.
3 seconds. But was that the championship or elimination game?
No,
bruh.
I'm sorry, man.
You remember the game he hit? What he hit?
I got a high standard,
stuff like that.
I got
that's as clutch as it come. That's as clutch.
No. As clutch? No.
2 shots in like 7 seconds.
No, as clutch as it comes is when all the marbles are on the line. These boys do not do what they do in the offseason. LeBron don't put $1 million in his body on the offseason to be clutch in a game 1 of a freaking playoff game.
I don't know what game
42 of the regular season.
I think that was
for the marbles.
I don't know what game it was, but I know it was a big game. It was a win. that they needed. I think that was the year they went to the finals and lost. But
where was the Clutch? Where was the Clutch in the finals?
He was playing the Lakers, bro.
All right. Next.
The Lakers.
We are going to eternally disagree on that.
Yeah.
But which is